Good morning, my dear loving children. How are you all? Okay, you all are fine. Very good. Do you remember which was the chapter that we were discussing? Yes, walls tell stories. And we discussed many things. We learnt about the Golconda Fort, and in the last class, we learned about how to locate places in a map, right? Yes, we saw how to locate the directions on a map. Where is north, where is east, where is south, and where is west. All these you learned, and you learned to locate the places also, right? Today we will learn the kind of arrangements that for water they had during that time. What kind of arrangement they had during that time. Okay, are you all ready to learn that? Yes. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. You can see in the picture there is a drum, right? There is a drum which is connected with a wooden pillar to the bullocks, right? Onto the bullocks it is connected, and near to the drum you can see a toothed wheel, right? Yes. When this bullock starts to move in round, the drum will also starts to rotate in clockwise direction. Did you get my point? Yes, when this bullock starts to walk, these drums also start to rotate in clockwise direction. Then what about the toothed wheel? Yes, this toothed wheel will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise direction. And you can see the toothed wheel's pole is connected to what? Yes, this garland of pots. It is connected to this garland of pots. Okay. And so you might be wondering then how these bullocks are moving. No, these bullocks are moving on the ground, and you see this there is the pole connected with dot dot dot, right? And that part is actually under the ground, underneath. Okay, it is under the ground. It is connected. Okay, and above that, these bullocks are walking. So, ma'am, hope you got this point. And if you have any doubts, you can ask in the live session. Okay, and you see this garland of pots will take water from down, and it will take to the top, and it will pour down to a lifted area, right? This is how they manage to lift this water and use this water for some purposes, for all purposes in that fort, right? And look at this picture. Look at this picture. Yes, what you see on these walls, there are some holes, right? And do you know what these holes are for? Yes, these are not just holes. These are clay pipes they have made at that time. Today in this time we have plastic pipes, right? You might have seen pipes, right? But at that time they never had such facilities, so they managed to make these pipes using clay. Okay, clay pipes they had in order to carry this water and to reach this water to different places in the palace. For carrying this water to different places in this palace, they made clay pipes. Okay, so let's talk about the next page in your textbook. What a sad sight, right? And in that, the students are discussing about the kind of mehrab, right? That means arch. You know, if a man is staying in that place, if he makes a little sound, a small sound can have echo in the whole palace. That is the specialty about that kind of construction. So they are so much talented that they made such an arrangement, such an arch arrangement in order um, to intimidate about certain dangers. Okay, and you see in your textbook that is written, writing on the wall is prohibited. And these students are discussing that how, what kind of fun these people would get when they write their names on these walls and all. They are actually spoiling the beauty of these walls. Okay, so what is conveying here, we also coming, generations of people would be coming after one after another, right? So you should also do not do like that. You should not be like that. Those people, those who made or spoiled those places, you should not spoil those places. You should keep them well and protected. Okay, so don't write anything on these walls and don't make these walls spoiled. Okay, now let's learn a bit about the museums. Okay, and the whole chapter is written like the students are, it's like a conversation the students are having, right? And at last the students reaching to a museum which is in Hyderabad. And do you know what is a museum? Yes, museum is a place where these old materials or old debris are kept safe, right? This is the place where we can look up to for understanding what kind of people were there in our ancient time, what kind of instruments they had used, what kind of talents they had at that time, what kind of pottery they used at that time. All these things are revealed by those debris, those remainings that we get from museum, that we get to see from these museums. Okay, and what all things these students saw in that museum? Yes, this museum is actually, they are keeping the things that they found from the nearby places in Golconda. Okay, Golconda fort's nearby place. They dug it and they got pots, jewelry, swords, and many other things. So these are the things that reveals that try that will help us to understand what kind of things they used at that time. So, do you think is it important to have a museum in our place? Should we keep these things, these remainings in a place by spending so much money? Should we keep these things? Do you think? So, write down whether it is important to keep a museum or whether it is important to spend lots of money on maintaining museums. Do you think is it important? This is your homework. Okay, write down, is it important to keep a museum in a place and why should we keep a museum? This is your homework also. Okay, and this is how this chapter is ending. And why do you think this chapter is named like walls tell stories? Why, what is the reason behind that? Yes, these walls are giving some gusts that how, what kind of people were there, what kind of instruments they used at that time, what kind of talents or capabilities and engineering they had at that time. All these things are revealed, and these walls can tell stories, right? Yes, my dear children, ma'am hope that you understood this chapter very well, and it's my humble request, read this chapter at least twice. Okay, you should read this chapter 2 times. Okay, very good. See you in the live session. Till then, take care. My loving children, bye bye.